Countdown.
Hey everyone, welcome back. It's another episode of Global Card Collectors. It's John and I today. John, how you doing, buddy?
All right, brother. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You know, it's the middle of the week doldrums. Just getting through a few things, and at the same time, just trying to, get that to-do list a little bit shorter.
I think you're making some plans, some card plans.
I am. There's a few card plans. So I've been back and forth, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be heading to the London Card Show, and I want to be able to go there and experience it, but at the same time, pick up a bunch of inventory for that show as well, because we are going to be going and becoming vendors at the Istanbul Card Show in May, which is going to be incredible.
Yeah, that just got announced this week. I mean, the dates were already known, but they're starting to sell tables, so I think we're going to sign up tonight after this episode.
Yeah, perfect. It's going to be fun, mate. I'm looking forward to it, and I think the city's looking forward to it, man. There's just so many people into cards right now over here.
Yeah, you were at that show 2 weeks ago or 10. Yeah, I get when this episode airs, it'll be 2 weeks, and sounds like it really sounds crazy. I mean, having been here for, kind of following the scene here for like 4 years, to see it kind of at this place, where, I'm getting DMs more and, it's just kind of what we've been waiting for. So maybe we're kind of there.
It's going to be a pretty, I think this could be the high point of Turkey's card collecting. I'm not sure if it's going to be, if it's going to start to peter out or that sort of thing, because there are just so many people into them right now that I'm getting like random friends who weren't into cards before coming up and talking to me about them and how to start a collection. So it's a pretty interesting space, man. So yeah, we'll see how it all goes.
I mean, these booms or whatever, or surges in markets. I mean, I think in other countries and such, I mean, they tend to have long tails. I mean, I feel like Germany, for instance, has sustained it as far as I know. I mean, now we're in another boom, globally, where, we started in the one in 2020, 2021, whatever. And then that took a couple years to kind of peter out, and now it's kind of came back last year, I guess, early last year, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think they I don't know. It seems like they kind of have 2-year cycles. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you say Germany, and I say New Zealand. Like, I've been looking at, it's not even the big card show. So New Zealand has these two massive card shows, the New Zealand Card Collectors Show and the Auckland Card Show. And they've been having so many other shows in between those two. There were 2 card shows in the last 2 weeks in New Zealand. One was called the Wellington Card Show, and that was very, very, very heavily attended. So many people. I've watched a whole bunch of videos of that online. I'm just like, holy crap, it's getting bigger. And there was another event called HobbyCon, which is in Auckland as well. So there are these 2 big cities in New Zealand, and they are getting massive attendance at their events. I'm talking thousands of people, and for a population that's small, that's pretty significant. And I know that our friend Steve, who runs the Auckland Card Show, he has these other card shows as well that he's running in New Zealand. And he's going to be opening one in the South Island of the country for the first time. So there's going to be a massive South Island card show, and it's called the South Island Card Show, which I really like. So,
when you're new to the space, you can really take a big name. I mean, it's like my Instagram handle, was one of the early ones here. So I'm Istanbul Cards. Like that's
yeah,
like,
you're a big deal. You're a big deal, and I'm often jealous of that name, dude. So congrats on that. It's a good name.
Thank you. I mean, pays to be early.
Yeah, so I can see this for Turkey, actually, that it could be sustainable, but it's really hard to tell. It's so early. There are so many new faces in this space, so many new, and I've talked about them before, so many new stores opening. Like there's another new store that's opened about 2 weeks ago, which I want to check out. It's probably the biggest one that they've had it in terms of actual floor space. Like they've got a place for people to play the TCG games, Pokemon and One Piece and all that live. Plus, their floor space itself is huge. Graded cards, singles, boxes, all sorts. Obviously, all in the TCG space. But as I talked about with Barrick last week, a lot of those vendors and sellers now are starting to just dip their toe in the sports card space, which is great news for us. So yeah, we'll see what happens at the beginning of May. It should be a lot of fun.
Turks are like top five in the world in gaming. Like they generally like games. I feel like I don't know. We'll see if it sticks. I mean, I think that, like anyone, they like make money too. So it's kind of a, I can see it being sustainable from what I kind of know living here and being in the culture or whatever.
Yeah, it's just one of those sorts of things you don't want to kind of
Jinx.
like. Yeah, you don't want to jinx it. That's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So
I agree.
the last time we chatted on here, it was about me actually showing off the big card of the year. In fact, of the last 2 years that I have this awesome Giannis, which I'm still keeping in the eBay box. So there's my friend Giannis, and it was interesting because we talked a little bit about the next card that I wanted to chase, and I kind of intimated towards myself probably going for Jokić, and you literally said in that episode, yeah, I think now's a good time to buy for Jokić, which I found pretty interesting, given what's happened over the last little while, and I guess our listeners can tell that it's going to be heading up to something big for you. So, do you want to just take the story from here, mate, and tell us your
Sure.
latest monster hit?
Thanks, and yeah, it's I still kind of can't believe it. I finally basically got my Jokic Grail. I'll just show it off here. I don't know if that shows through. It's
Yeah,
the it's the 2015 National Treasures, International Treasures on card auto. It's got the Serbian flag in the background. He's got this kind of he's wearing the yellow jersey. It's truly like a water polo card. Like if you Google the New York Times like Jokic water polo, you'll find a New York Times article about this. Like, and anyone who watches him knows he plays like a water polo player. Just with how he kind of delivers the ball like that overarm. Um, I've wanted this card for 3 years. Um, I've kind of never felt like I had the budget for it, and it just kept going up, right, in price, and difficulty in finding it. Um, and an auction came up while I was in the States. I've already been selling a ton, and I was like, "This is it." It's PSA 8, Auto 9. It's out of 75. They have out of 10, and I'm going to talk a bit more about the set overall. So there are only 85 copies of this card overall. It's my Jokic Grail. Um, I just still can't believe I have it. So I'm super super excited. It's my favorite card in my collection.
what was fun for me from being your friend who's been trying? I knew that you were going for the auction, obviously, and I think I even messaged you the day before the auction ended, going, "Is it is it over yet?" And you're like, "No, no, we've got another day." I like a big costume change for those viewers. He's got his Joker t-shirt on. Amazing. So what I remember is I sent you a message like, "Is it over yet?" And you're like, "No, no, no, it's tomorrow morning." And that day I was literally setting up at the PCTR Winter Card Festival. So I've literally just sat down at the table. I got ready, picked up my phone, and I had a look, and it was a message from you. And you just shared a photo of that card with me. You didn't say a single word. You just shared the photo. And I was like, I think I responded like, no, no way, no way. And I think you just said, yes, brother. And I immediately, I was in the middle of setting up. I just stopped. I picked up my phone. I gave you a phone call straight away. I was like, did you get it? You're like, yes, I did. It was incredible, man. So that was a really fun moment to share with you. And congrats on getting that grail, dude, because knowing about chasing grails and picking cards and moving up levels as you have to be able to get the peak card, the Jokic card that you want, amazing, dude. Congrats.
Thanks. It was one of these auctions where it just got bid up real quickly. So it made me pessimistic about it. And uh, obviously it worked out. I went. I I I paid higher than anyone's ever paid for a PSA 8,
Mhm.
um, and I felt fine about it. Usually with cards, I really am kind of disciplined about that. Like always trying to like cap my highest bid at where I feel comfortable paying it. Right. I mean, I did in this case feel comfortable going over because it's just such a special card to me. Um, and it got up pretty high like before the night, and I just put in a snipe bid through a snipe service and went to sleep and woke up and expected to lose it. Um, but I won it. I can't believe it. Yeah, like
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. It's
I don't
definitely
know.
what you want. And I think back to those kinds of cards where I've been in auctions and gone a little over what the last comp was, and kind of
Hmm.
worried about it before I had put down my final bid. But knew that that was the number that I wanted to get to. And when I have won those cards, so the Lomu Gold was exactly that for me. And I remember like pacing back and forth, going, "Do I really want to do this?" And as soon
Yep.
as I got that card and I knew that it was mine, I was absolutely fine with it. I was like, "Don't worry about it. I can sell other cards to make up for this one." And I feel like that's maybe the way you feel about that as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's like almost 5 years to the day, I think, that I got back into the hobby. And by staying in and being disciplined and some of my cards appreciating a bit, and I had the equity to sell a lot, to kind of justify it. And yeah, it's just like kind of weird. I mean, because it's 5 years we've been in this hobby, like I have. I
Wow.
mean, since I got back in at least. And this card particularly, I identified 3 years ago that I wanted it. 3 years ago, I happened upon the 2017 Jokić International Treasures, and it's in this Chinese slab. This version's out of 25, which is kind of nice. And I just came across it kind of like 2 minutes left on an auction. I think I've told the story before, but I was like, "Oh my god, that card's awesome!" And so I just like put in I didn't even care. It's kind of back in those days where you still weren't that careful or something. But I won it for what turns out now, of course, a great price. And that's how I discovered this set, because I was not aware of it. Um, you know, Previously I'd been collecting these, trying to get the gold parallels out of this 2019. It's Mosaic. It's this insert set called International Men of Mastery. Now I just have the Giannis, Luka, and Jokić left over, but I was collecting all 20 of these, um, and I've sold the rest or given them away. And uh, I was all about that set. But then I
That's right.
found these international treasures, and I was like, "Oh man, why have I like this way more?" So it was this, it was this didn't have the knowledge. It was a year before that I had started with this mosaic set. So, I mean, I kind of identified early on that I liked international players. I wanted to collect that route, and I like flags. I like countries. I like politics. I like geopolitics, history. These are my interests. And so that's why I like international players on some level. I find it fascinating how they succeed in the NBA, and I find these cards so meaningful for them because it has it has the player, it has their signature, it has basketball, but it has their country's flag. And for international players, it's so important. It just define for me. It defines everything who they are, as a player in the NBA. I'm not fans of these guys before the NBA. I don't really know them before the NBA. So to me, they're the perfect cards for me, in that regard. And but finding that there was a better set that I totally liked more, was a big, oh man, wow. I'm never, so, but I kind of just started slowly getting into it. I think that I can't remember the second card after the Jokic I had. No, I know what it was. It was the Bogdanovich. Same year. This is his rookie, 2017, also out of 25. So they're a really nice pairing with the Serbian flags on there. Um,
Incredible.
and And then I think Steven Adams came next. I've kind of kept a log of when I got every card
Great,
that I like looking
great.
through. So yeah, I've just now I'm kind of in love with this set. And so we thought it might be interesting if I kind of walked us through kind of the meaning of the set, what years it came in, this kind of thing, right?
Yeah, a couple of things before we do get into
Yeah,
the set itself. I I do remember you getting the International Men of Mastery set, and I love that you've kept the big three, and they're the big three guys in your collection. So there's the Jokić, the Luka, and the Giannis. So those three together, and they're all out of 10, right, from that set.
yeah, yeah,
And getting rid of everything else makes sense to the pathway that we're taking as collectors as well. And just holding those ones, they have that kind of special extra value to you. So I like that you've kept that, but I do agree with you that as nice as that International Men of Mastery set is, the next level is definitely the International Treasures, National Treasures cards. Even if you're looking at the set itself, like the jump from Mosaic to National Treasures, it's night and day, man. And I think now that we've been, almost a year away from Panini leaving us as the company that has the license for NBA cards, I definitely think that the premier cards, and we've talked about this with Justin, that because of their jump in quality and everything from the way that they print the cards to the way they design them to the difference between sticker and on card, it really is something that I'm starting to look at more closely too with Panini cards, going back to those and saying, I want the elite cards for these reasons. And I think that the international treasures are right up there with some of the sets that I really like too. So we might have to have words about that second Jokic card if you want to somehow rehome that guy, and we'll see what we do there.
that is kind of a debate. I mean, I kind of was telling myself, all right, I should have just one of each player. Um,
Well, if you're
yeah,
willing to move on him, I'm not going to force you. But we have
yeah,
talked about this in the past when you've been moving on cards and you've sent them elsewhere instead of coming to me first.
that's
I'm
true.
just doing
Yeah,
my
yeah.
work.
Y- Let me know. Yeah, I mean,
Now
I don't
you
think
let me
anything
know. You let me know. You
I'll
let
let,
me
no,
know
I'll,
about
yeah,
that.
I'll let you know. Fair enough. Uh, you're going to London anyway too. So anyway, um,
Yeah, so let's get into the set. Do you want to just tell
yeah,
us a little bit about the beginnings of the set, the differences that you noticed between the first year it is until now? Just walk us through, man. I'm curious.
yeah. So it first year was 2013. Then
Hmm.
they didn't have it in 2014. Then they had it in 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Um, and then they stopped doing it. Puzzlingly so. Maybe except they brought it back in 2024 for the last
Wow,
year
wow.
of Panini's license, 2024-25. Um, so I mean, as an aside, I'm kind of curious if Topps is going to do anything like it. Um, what would it be like? That kind of thing. But I am ultimately kind of glad that they didn't do too many years because it makes it easier to get your head around it. Um, who knows how the designs would have been. The 2024 design I don't love as much, but there's each year I like parts of it. The only year I don't have any of and I don't like so much is 2016. Um, but so starting in I mean, 2013 is Giannis, right? Um, that's the first year. It varies. I'll show you some 20. Well, you have a 2013.
I
We both have a
do,
copy of
I
this one.
do.
Steven Adams. I have several 2013s. Gauskas, Dragic. What else? I got a Kirilenko. Um, it's it's the most special, I think, year. It's the
Mhm.
first. Um, it has a really nice kind of subtleness to the flag that kind of blends into the background. I think that our Adams card is almost the least subtle because of the flag. But
Yeah.
if you look at one of the tricolor kind of cards, like say this Kirilenko, you can see it's a flag, but it's not necessarily certain
Hmm.
it's there. Um, I think the design is great. Most players are out of 60, and then they have an out of 25 version. This, of course, is my crown jewel for 2013 is the Giannis out of 60. Um, some players aren't totally out of 60. Some have like out of 35. I think Tony Parker is out of 35 and out of 25.
Hmm.
But maximum is out of 60 and out of 25. So that makes 85 cards in the set. Um, you know, there's a Vlade in there, but he has a Lakers uniform. So I'm not going to get that. Um, it's, I think the one drawback for me with 2013 is a lot of the cards don't have a basketball in it because of the design. Um,
Mhm.
this one does, the Algauskas, but a lot of them don't. So it's just it's not as kind of action oriented, and I think I like the flag design, but as I said, it's not as maybe obvious as other years. But you have like a Plain Days Tony Parker. I recently acquired one of those. I don't have it with me yet. I'd like to get a Ginobili. That's Plain Days. Um, there's a Luol Deng in that set that I want.
Nice.
I think the
Does he have
Hakeem
the Senegalese flag behind him? Oh,
Sudanese, yeah,
Sudan. Sorry, Sudan.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, or
South Sudan.
South
Oh,
Sudan. Sorry, yeah,
great, great.
yeah.
That
I've
sounds
never seen
great,
it.
actually.
You
Well, the
look
thing is,
for, yeah.
wow,
Go ahead.
that's a really kind of a really good one for that. That's a grail card for Luol Deng collector. When you think about all the stuff he's done with South Sudan, like being the coach of the team, funding a lot of the tournaments that they get to go into, raising money for them, and getting them to the Olympics. They almost beat the US in the warm up game. Like, there's something special about that card. Is there a Manute Bol one? Speaking of South Sudanese people,
No, I don't believe so.
that hurts.
Um, yeah, it's a bit puzzling. Like in all the 4 years or 5 years of it that I mentioned, no Pau Gasol. Like crazy, right? You have
Come
Ricky
on.
Rubio, you have Marc Gasol, but no Pau. Now they
Wow.
corrected that in 2024 and had one. I don't. Maybe our friend John would know why he was not included. I mean, Mark
Interesting.
was the hotter Gasol at that point, but it's still kind of as puzzling.
Definitely. It feels
Yeah,
like it's an homage to what you've done and putting your country on the map and having the flag behind you.
yeah,
What he's done for Spanish basketball, like he's the guy. He's the guy.
agree. Yeah. Um, so that's puzzling. I mean, there's puzzling things in these sets. Like I don't,
Mhm.
why people didn't think this through or something.
Yeah, I'm going to be
They
throwing
are.
up more names, by the way. I'm going to be throwing up. Is that guy in the set? Like, because there's so
Yeah,
many fun international players, and I think about it from my perspective as an international person as well. Like the Steve Adams card we've talked about many times. It's the perfect card for me. Like, but is there like the ideal card for an Australian? I want to say is Kyrie in the Australian flag in that set?
yep,
That
yeah.
seems strange to me. Seems strange.
Yeah, that was a turn off with this mosaic set. Is Kyrie's in there? Like I don't want I don't I don't want to complete the set. I mean, and you make a great point that I wanted to kind of share about this set is there's no way I'm going to collect every card, and I don't want to. I mean, they're just I only collect players that I like or have good feelings about.
Hmm.
And you have 6 years of 2024 from which to choose. Someone is pretty much someone you like is going to be in something. I think it's hard to think of someone big who's not in all of them, or who's not in any one of those 6 years. Um, and by and large, I have not paid over $100, maybe for this Sabonis, which was out of 10. But
Can you show the Sabonis? It's Daddy
this
Sabonis, right?
this is 2017, yeah. This is the out of 10 parallel,
It's so cool.
um,
So
Lithuanian
cool.
flag.
That autograph
Um,
is so nice, dude. That
right?
autograph
I
is
like it too. Yeah.
it's a
I,
work of art on there, dude.
so you can. I mean, a lot of these cards cost me $40, $50, $60. They're not that expensive. Which a lot of these subsets in higher end products, like even base cards of National Treasures, are like you would think they're like a lot more, but they're not. They're it's strange how like Prism base or not base, but it's just hard to compare. I think people And I'll say this for myself. You know, it took me 2 years in the hobby to kind of get into this set. I think National Treasures and a lot of these high end sets are intimidating to people. They don't know how
Yeah.
to get their heads around them, and you know, they have all these subsets within it. You're like, well, what is good and what isn't, and you know, they're not cheap, but you know, for what I see here, an on card autograph of a great, you know, with his country flag, like to me that value under I can understand that just without comps or anything like that. Um, so maybe I can inspire people, someone who's listening, that you know to look at these kinds of sets, not necessarily this one, another one in NT or flawless or whatever it is, to not
Oh,
be,
immaculate.
yeah, I mean, maybe colossal patches or you know whatever you're into. Um, you know, don't be intimidated because they're often not as expensive. I mean, I think RPAs in these sets are, but this is not
Yes.
a patch. But if you kind of steer away from that combination, I think they can be more affordable.
Especially if you're coming up with a little bit more of a niche player too. So if you
Yeah.
have a niche collection, and I have a question for our friend Ben who might ask, is Giddy in that set now? I mean, is he in the 2024 set? Is Dyson Daniels in that set? Because they deserve to be. I mean, even after 2024, you'd be like, what are those guys? Or even Matisse Tybal. Like, there's a lot of Australian players in the league. Is even Bogut in there, for example?
Um,
Would he have the Australian flag? Or, I think he's Croatian, right? Would he have the
there
No,
there is
I'm
a,
Australian.
I think Luke Longley is in it.
Yes, yes, yeah, cool. That is cool.
Um, I don't think Andrew Bogut is. Um, but these more modern players, no, because it stopped in 2018. Um, Now the
But
2024,
2024, huh?
the checklists online are incomplete. Um,
Wow.
some of them are redemptions, so you don't see them selling. Like, I mean, I have a search for them, but I don't come across a lot of them. There's a, you know, there's a Luka this year. I just learned tonight there's a Jokić actually, but that's a redemption. Yeah, I got a Siakam and a Powell from 2024 because
Yes.
you know these are guys I like. But there's also like a Matas Buzelis. So that card sells for decent money, right? Because he's
Nice.
kind of a prospect. He
Rookie
good
card of
player.
his, I assume?
Yeah, it's a rookie. So I mean, I'm not ready to spend on that, but you know, it's
Give
something
it a
I'll
couple of
keep an eye
years
on.
when he's in that like third year kind of a lull because I think with his rookie cards, so many people liked Matas. And
Yep.
his rookie cards, I think, kind of had the hero treatment when they went kind of we're prospecting, so everybody likes him. There's so much they like about him. They went very, very high. I see year two, even though he's improving, that his card prices are starting to dip a little bit. So I feel like you could wait a couple more years and you'll be able to find that for a decent price. But that's a fun one to look at because
Good
I'd like
call.
to
I
get
like
me a
that.
nice Zealous guy because like everybody, I like him. I like watching him play. He's got some really cool highlights. He's a fun player, got a high
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so you can really go at your own pace with this. There's so many to choose from. You can dabble around in different years. So 2013 I talked about. 2015 is the next year they have it. This is the Jokic year. I don't think that's why they started it again in 2015. I mean, Jokic was not something then.
Yeah,
Um, but you know, then they had it for 4 straight years. And I mean, you know, to step back a bit, I do think we're living in kind of this golden era of international players, particularly Balkan players, but
mhm.
particularly Balkan players, because I think there was kind of a lost generation of guys who were, say, age 5 to 15 or 20 living in the Balkans during the war, right? They just kind of lost. You don't see a lot of Eastern European or Balkan players in the NBA in the 2000s and early 2010s. You know, you see Parker, Gasol, you know, some good Europeans. But now we're in this age of just like amazing international players, right? I mean, three of the five best players in the league right now are from the Balkans. Um, it's kind of amazing. So I think Panini kind of caught this era. I mean, they it's like obvious, but at least they I feel like the larger NBA media scape kind of didn't appreciate Jokic till about 2020. Like, I mean, Luka kind of got everybody onto it, I feel like, but there was this greatness kind of happening in the second half of the 2010s that was kind of kicking in. Like a guy like this, like Yusuf Nurkic.
Yes,
Um, this is a
it's a
Bosnian
great.
flag. I mean, it's just a great flag, right? It's blue and
Yeah,
yellow, and I mean, unique player. He was very good. He's still putting up great lines. I don't know if you see in fantasy, but um,
it's annoying with him in fantasy, and I'm glad that I haven't taken the plunge because he's so good with his fantasy lines, and he gives his teams a chance to win. That the Jazz are like, we want to tank, so we're not going to play him.
right,
And so
right,
he plays half a game and he gets 40 fantasy points. It's like you're really good, dude. And in an underperforming team, he's the kind of guy who's a floor raiser. So you talk about guys who can raise a team ceiling. Nurkic is a floor raiser. Like he'll bring your team's floor to a certain point, and which is why they're like, yeah, take a seat on the bench now, mate. You're good. So they're stacked that team right now. I kind of like the look of that squad. I wonder what they're going to do next year. But I noticed that they were playing Larry Markkinen and Triple J in their last game, and then they set them for the fourth quarter.
yeah.
It's like, now we're not playing anymore. We're going to lose.
I mean, everybody's doing this. It's. I don't know why the
Yeah.
Jazz get picked on. The Kings are
Yeah,
playing
absolutely,
young guys all the
absolutely. You guys
time.
are doing it well, almost perfectly. But you had a run there where you won like 3 or 4 games. You're like, what are they doing? Tank
Yeah, that
four.
that had to stop. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
tankathon. It's a thing. And why not, dude? There are 3 incredible prospects, and there's no kind of way that you can get around it. But tanking is just going to be part of the NBA until they change the rules, right?
agree. Their incentives are to tank. It's that simple.
Mhm.
I mean, look at the Sixers, Thunder, Spurs. That's how they got
Wizards,
good. That's
but
it.
the Wizards they traded good players for guys who are injured and who will sit out the rest of the year. And hopefully, if they for them, hopefully for the Wizards, if they can get a top 3 pick plus the injured guys come back, like they've already shelved Davis. He's
Yeah,
probably ready,
I'm
but they're out for
mentioning
the
those
year.
teams because
He's
they're
out for the year.
successful now because they tanked. I mean,
Mhm.
the Thunder, Sixers, and Spurs. I mean,
Spurs.
it's the only way they got there. That's why they're
Yeah,
here. They're good now.
yeah, yes, the blueprint.
So 2015 um, is probably my favorite year. Here's a Matumbo. The flag is just really big. They are out of 75 and then out of 10. The out of 10s are really awesome. They're called inscriptions, and the player writes their country name in the autograph space as well. I don't have any of those. I've been debating buying a Bielitsa because it's affordable. Um, and I kind of like Bielitsa. He was on the Kings. And now that I have the Jokic, it might be a nice pairing with the Serbian flag. So we'll see. I might I might buy that this week just to finally finish it off because I've talked to you about that card many times.
Yeah.
But I just is asking more than he should. But look at me. Uh, so 2015 does that really well. I'll jump to 2017. I've showed it already, but
So just before you jump to 2017, just
yeah,
to circle back to the Jokic of that year, I think
yeah,
one thing that we forgot to say is that's his rookie year. So I think
right.
they did really luck out in the fact that he's the 43rd pick, I don't know, 42nd pick in the draft,
41st.
41st, 41st pick in the draft, and they gave him a International Treasures rookie card. That's pretty lucky, really. Like with Luka, it's a no brainer.
Right.
He was a mega star coming into the draft. But Jokic, even during his rookie season, he said a lot because he was behind Jokic, and they're like, "Oh no, we'll slowly bring this guy in." So for them to make a card of his rookie season, I think it's perfect timing, and I still really love that card for you, dude.
Thank you. That's a good point. I think I was maybe disparaging or saying that Jokic wasn't a thing then, but it maybe the set it wasn't because of Jokic, but they did make a great choice to include him. That's a
Oh yeah. So
very
he's
good
in
point.
he's in there 3 different times, huh? So he's 2015 and 17, and then 2024.
Now he's five. It's 15, 16, 17, 18, and 24.
Wow. So he's got
Yeah.
4 cards in that set. The most, I
Yeah.
guess, just from a guess.
Um, Giannis is in every year
So
as far
Giannis has
as
the most.
I know. Yeah, he's in every year, so he probably has 6 of them. I think he's in this year. The online checklists are incomplete, and so I just can't like tell exactly who's in 2024, as I said earlier. So, but he's in every year that I know of that I collected here at least. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so Jokic has 5. Let's say Giannis has 6. No other player really is in every year. Like it's strange. Like even Dirk didn't get his first one until 2016. Um, what? Like Parker has one, I think, across at least 13, 16, and maybe one more. It's interesting who they decide to pick and choose. Like Sarunas Marcelonis has 2, I think, or maybe 3, maybe he has 16 as well,
Right.
but he's in 20. Yeah. So I'm looking for that one. Hakeem's in there a couple times.
He should be,
Um,
of course.
yeah, like very
And you have the
obvious.
Dino now, which I think you showed to us before, the Dino Raja.
Yeah. So these are the 3, I guess,
Think of a Vulcan
2018.
dude, of course.
We got 2 Serbs and a Croat.
Yeah.
The two.
One
So I
representing the
mentioned earlier.
Celtics, man.
What's that?
One representing the Celtics.
Yeah, I know. I
Should
can't
be a
believe I bought a
Celtics card.
Celtics card. And yeah, Vlade's and the Kings in the 2018, so that's why. 2017 and 2018 are kind of similar, in that they jacked up the parallels, and they started to do that slowly in 2016 as well. Um, so it's you have an out of 99, you have an out of 25, out of 10, and there's a 101 even in 2017. The Bogdanovich came up for auction once, and I regret it. It's probably the one card I regret not going after hard, at this point, but who knows? Um,
Is that
2018, of
your
course.
favorite? Like, I know we've talked about your collection for a while. Is that your favorite Bogdanovich card, or is it the
Yeah,
patch?
no,
It's the
this
patch.
this.
Yeah. It's
Well,
that
I
one.
haven't seen the patch, but I mean these things just
Uh-huh.
these are always my favorites.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean I'm not really a patch guy, so it's kind of the only patch card I've ever bought. So I'm not even
It's
sure
a
how much
beautiful.
I'll
It's a
like it.
beautiful patch,
Yeah,
dude. I can't wait to see that one live.
yeah. Um, so yeah, and then 2018 they also kind of again similar parallel structure. I mean 2018 though they kind of and 2016 is also like this. The flag is much smaller, kind of under the player. The pro is
Mhm.
that you get more of the player, a better shot, I think.
Mhm.
So it kind of depends what you're. I like 2015 the most, but I've also come to really like 2018 too. For instance, you know, you could argue with the big flag, it's kind of like, oh, it's just a flag with a player, kind of. Whereas this is more basketball almost. Just depends your taste. Um, and I think I've kind of covered all the high points of this set. I mean, um, now that from 2017 on they had 101s. But what one thing I do like, okay, so the later sets they probably have a total of like 145 cards or something, maybe 140 if you add in all the parallels.
Mhm.
Whereas the earlier years like 2013 and 2015, it's like 85, or it was 80 and then 85. And so it's a nice company. If you have one, there are only 100 or 100. They're not going to be too many of these things out there. The later years I tend to kind of want lower serial numbers. This is a point I wanted to share too, is that um, the premium on lower serial numbers is not that high. There I would say there's like a base price for a card, and then of course it varies, but it isn't like in Prism, where if you have the out of 50 versus the out of 10 is going to be maybe like 10 times more or something.
Yeah,
Here
sure.
it's maybe even not even twice as much or something. So there's a concept of just you just want the card. the number is just literally a number, except for that 2015 year with the inscriptions, which 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 is really
Which
special.
makes a difference. It makes a
Yeah,
difference. That makes a big difference. Like I think about the Steve Adams card, for example, and the one we have, I think, is at a 64 or something like this.
60.
But the 60. Well, there's no real need for me to go down to the 25 one because it's
No,
gold.
no.
Because it looks literally the same. The only difference is that edge has a little gold
Yep.
frame instead.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's
Like
in the number of 25.
this Ilgauskas is a gold. I mean, it just has that stamp on it,
Mhm.
so it's. I agree.
Yeah, so the need to jump up to a to a more rare version, it just doesn't feel like it's worth it.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about a few of the big names in those sets? Can you? So you've talked about Dream is in there, Nowitzki's in there, Park is in there. More African players that you can think of that deserve to be in there. Is anyone missing from that set that you were surprised that they missed, or are there other players that you just want to kind of highlight that we haven't talked about yet?
Um, I I don't think they've really missed anybody, besides the Powell thing. Um,
Yeah, they got him this time at least, like, and you've got the card.
yeah, yeah. I mean, maybe they missed him,
Well, they
but
can't get the autograph, of
they can't
course.
get the auto. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It
uh,
might even be a good idea to kind of get a cut auto, just buy some autographs of his and cut and patch them on. That would be kind of fun.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. If someone had one of these signed, oh boy, yeah, I might trade in my current. This is Petrovich we're talking about, by the way,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
listeners. Um, I think I'm a quarter
No Duncan,
Lebanese.
'cause I guess he's American, right? No Duncan, no Tim Duncan.
No, and now that's something I've thought about recently. Like the one player I really love, American player, is in international basketball is Kevin Durant, um,
Mhm.
and he has like exquisite, like there's an exquisite patch on eBay, 2007. It's got this American like patch flag on it. Um, Sick card. Go check it out. I mean, on card auto. I mean, but I kind of wish they had included some Americans in this too. Like it's a non-American set.
Which
Um,
is nice for the rest of us because I
I guess
think
so. Yeah,
speaking as an international, like
yeah,
to have a Stephen Adams card without flag, you're like, dude, this is amazing. And so maybe that's what they were going for,
yeah,
which is internationals who want to collect their guy. Is there a person from? So, for example, they could have gotten a player from the Philippines.
yeah.
Like,
I don't think
why,
there's a
why not get
Philippine.
why not get Jalen Green on there? That would be
I
fun.
mean, like from our
Chinese is
region.
Yao on there.
Oh yeah, Yao cards go for huge money. And there are a
So
couple other Chinese players.
they're
Like
lining them up. There must be a lot of Yao cards in that set too. Then, right?
yeah, I know 2015. He's in 2015. Um, there's some player in 2017. I don't remember his name. I don't even think he played in the NBA. I think Yang Hensen is in 20.
Oh,
No, he's a rookie
nice.
this
His
year.
rookie
No, he's
card.
not. But
Rui? Is Rui in
I
there with the
should add.
Japanese flag?
Sorry,
Rui Hachimura is he in there with the Japanese flag?
I've never seen it. I don't know. I don't think
Interesting.
so. Um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, like Israel.
Or Watanabe?
We got Caspi, Omri Caspi from
Ah,
Israel.
that's the one I want to ask. I got one I got to ask. Denny, is Denny in the new set?
He might be in 2024, and I would love that. Yeah, I like
Yeah,
Denny.
yeah, yeah, totally. And then
Um,
Caspi, of course, perfect. Yeah, perfect. So
yeah,
Caspi's there.
Caspi's there. I don't feel it with Caspi. So maybe that'll change. But
He was
I
the
mean, the one
king, dude. Come on, he was in the Kings.
he was, yeah. Um,
Did he also play for your other team, the Lakers? I mean,
if he was in a Kings, yeah, maybe. I forget who did he play for.
Caspi,
Yeah,
Kings for a couple of years. Wasn't he a rookie, a Kings rookie?
yeah. He was a Kings rookie, but um, his card is not in a Kings uniform. If it was, I would of course be all over it. Um,
Mhm.
but Yeah, I can't remember where else he played.
I'm going to put the word out because maybe somebody listens when I titled the episode International Treasures. If anybody has a copy of Rony Seikaly, I can't remember how to pronounce his name properly, but if anyone has a copy of that and they're willing to part with it, John would love it. I'm already
Yes.
on the lookout for you for that card too. See if we can get that one because that's a card that you're chasing as well.
Yeah, I'll that's a 2015. I mean, I would love it out of 75, but I mean, if someone has the inscriptions, being a quarter Lebanese, I lived in Beirut for uh 6 months or so, and I would love that card. Turkey has someone also.
Do they have what?
Maybe he will go unnamed on these airwaves.
Oh, that's right. I did see that card this week. No, that's Maitland, man. It's Mr. Freedom, right?
Yeah. So he was in, he mattered in the NBA for a few years there. I wish there was a Turkoglu card. I mean, that would be awesome.
Turtle, like the why not an Alperen card, man? Like
Yeah, absolutely.
if Alperen comes in, I might even just write to Panini and say, look, you need to get Alperen Şengün on one of these international treasures cards. Because there's that
Yeah.
global reach Şengün card, right? Which is the only one with him in the Turkish flag. And I'm like, I probably need a copy of that. So if you've got bonus ones of those, dude, I'll take one of those off your hands.
I
It'd be
mean, I
just
wonder how it will work with Panini. They've lost the license, but can they still get autos? And I mean, they
yeah.
can
Well,
just keep
they have
producing
been. I've
these.
I've seen they've got a few Edgecombe autos in their latest set. So Panini's just released their newest set right now. They've got downtowns in it. They've got all of these rookie autos. So they have Coward, his rookie auto is in there, and so
Okay.
is Edgecombe. They're both signing there. So yeah, I think they can get autos of certain players for sure. So I will. I'll have to do my due diligence and send them a message and see what they can do.
One other country I didn't share yet, but the Nene Brazilian flag.
No, they want to nice too.
Of course, you have Ginobili, and there's another Argentine in
Is it like
there.
an Eduardo Nahira in Mexico, for example? Like, you know
Oh,
what I
that
mean?
would be
Like,
good. I don't think there's any Mexico. Um, yeah, the strange flags are the fun ones. I mean,
or even Arroyo. Like, is there some
yeah,
kind of he was great outside the NBA, but he had a couple of years in Miami where it was fine, but it was way better here in Europe. Are there any
yeah,
of those kind of guys who have come back to Europe? Like John's guy Sergio, man, can you imagine if Sergio Rodriguez came? Ooh, John would be all over that. He'd have
he
every
would.
single copy. He'd
Yeah.
have them all over his wall.
um, I can't think of that kind of example. There is a Mirotic. Um,
Nice,
yeah,
nice. That is
from
nice.
the Bulls. Yeah, he has a card.
I remember
It's
even
yeah,
our episode because I was listening to it a little while ago, the Chris Hoge episode. Hence me posting it on Instagram recently. And he talked about Mirotic, and he's just like, there are some guys who can't stand being away from home, so they go back and they play in Europe again. Mirotic is one. I think Sergio is one as well.
yeah.
So, oh,
What's
maybe
that?
to bring an Hugo Gonzalez one. Ooh, that would be great for me, dude.
Yeah, I hope it continues because there. I mean, I said that was kind of the golden age, but I mean, there's still plenty of them. I mean, it's not like it's
There's
died.
more.
The
There's
international wave,
more.
maybe. Yeah. Um,
But that might be a thing for Panini, man, because as we saw from that latest post of Hugo Gonzalez, he's signing cards for Panini. So there you go with the licensing thing. It doesn't really matter that much. He's
yeah.
signing Panini cards. I assume he's in his Real Madrid uniform. Is it Immaculate that they're doing? They're making an Immaculate.
Impeccable, I think.
Impeccable, sorry, Impeccable. That's right. I always
Um,
forget Impeccable. I always think iMac first. I really do like the iMac cards,
yeah.
but maybe then it's worth sending Panini a message and saying, "Look, International Treasures is one of your best sets from National Treasures. If you're going to lean into something to get people to buy them, I will buy cards from that set. Make more."
Seriously,
Because I told you I'd messaged Tops before. Remember, I sent Tops an email about rugby cards. I'm like, look, you guys have the license as Fanatics. Why don't you partner with Tops? You can get all black players to sign cards. It'll be amazing. They responded to me within a day going, thanks very much for the suggestion. We will get back to you. Don't just think this message is forgotten. We'll do something. So maybe I'll send them a follow up. But why not send a message out to Panini and just ask? I mean, in the end, we are the consumers, right? And we would want those cards, and I think that there would be a market for them. So, yeah, I'm going to be sending Panini a message in the next few days. Then,
nice, nice. There are two more points I just wanted to make about this set.
yes,
Um, it exists for baseball, and soccer, but very limited. Like they did 1 year of it for football, soccer, 2018. Uh, but it's disappointing. And of course, soccer is just already so international. I mean, it literally is non-American more than you can, as you
yeah,
can get,
true,
I guess. So, I mean, maybe it doesn't have the appeal, but and they of course have all these cards, World Cup, Euro, whatever, in their national kits or uniforms. So,
cool.
soccer is kind of a different beast. And that's why I like it for basketball. But baseball, there are a lot of Latin players, like Japanese. Like, I think it's a cool set
Is
to look
Shohei in
at.
that set?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That would be sweet, right?
Oh man, that card would go for crazy money.
And the other maybe unsurprising thing is I've probably got over half of these from Card Hobby in China. They come up more often there on auction. They have a lot more auctions there. They don't do a lot of buy it nows. Everything just goes on auction
Mhm.
for the most part. So on eBay you'll find a bunch of these cards that are just have been listed for. I've seen them for years now. They just sit at stupid prices and never get sold. Like Lowry Markkinen second year,
There you go. There's another
for five hundred
international.
dollars or something. It's like, all right, yeah, no one's buying it for a reason. But anyway, um, if you are interested in these cards, I do recommend going on Card Hobby. I'll get competition from you, but um, they come up more often there, and the ones you haven't seen, like in the US. So
So the ones that you are still chasing from that set, let's just be clear because maybe there will be a random listener who's listening in. You never know.
yeah,
You're chasing the Seikaly, Rony
yep,
Seikaly from 2015.
yep.
You're chasing the 2019 Luka Dončić. Is that right?
And the 2018 Luka Dončić.
2018.
That one's extremely expensive. There are 4 copies sitting on eBay right now. It's one of those cards, so you see it, but just I have to wait for an auction, and if
Well,
it's the right
you
time.
said it was what line did you use when you lost that other auction? You said it was in the scalpers flippers vortex or something like that.
Yeah, this is from the crossover, but the flippers vortex.
It's in the flippers
Yeah,
vortex.
that card I lost popped up on eBay. It stayed up there for about a week, and then then they took it down. I'm sure they're trying to move it at shows as best they can. Whatever. But the 2018 there are 140 copies of that card, so it's more available, and it's because Luka they'll sell. I mean, they'll be available. Whereas like Ronnie Cycli or Seikaly, by the way, his name means the polisher,
Ah,
uh,
nice.
which is cool. Um, like that doesn't pop up, or the Luol Deng, because people are like, well, it's probably not worth anything. Like I'll just keep this, So they just don't
Or
sell them,
or
right?
or they're in Facebook groups in parts of the world that we don't know. Like for example, the Stephen Adams card. I saw a copy of it today
Hmm,
listed, sold immediately. Because if I'd
really?
seen it, I would have bought another copy. I was like, "Oh, that's a good price." It was like $300. I'm like, "Oh man, I would grab that immediately." And that's 300 New Zealand bucks. So you're looking at
Okay.
150 US, which is absolutely fine.
I
I
mean
don't think
that.
the person what they had, to be honest, because I would if I were ever to sell a Steve card, which I'm not at all thinking about, but I would auction it in New Zealand because there is a massive amount of demand for that card. again, it's the idea of it being limited. It's the only card in that set of Steven Adams. There are 85 copies because there's 25 and
Yep,
8 and 60, right?
85.
85 copies of that card, and everybody wants it. If you're a New Zealand card collector, that's the Adams card that you want. So maybe that's what's happened with the Polisher with Seikaly. It might be that
Yeah, I don't
he
know. I
is
don't know what
a
the card
Lebanese
scene in
treasure.
Lebanon is. I could see a lot of Lebanese guys in the diaspora being into it.
Yeah,
Maybe they just don't leave collections. Um, yeah, getting those kind of cards out is. But maybe that's my next step because honestly, Will, I'm at a bit of a. I've been selling so much, and then I I kind of just now I know what I want. I'm not. I kind of don't know what to do with myself a little bit
dude,
these
that's
days.
the
And
goal. That's the goal. I want to get where you
yeah,
are. Honestly, that's the goal. Like it is for me at least. The goal is to have a collection where I don't have this random bulk anymore. And I've looked at it, and it's what I needed to do to evolve as a collector. But now I think after being a collector for so long, you understand it's not about volume. It's about you having cards that you treasure. And so for you to have just a few cards that you really, really want and you can go and chase after, I think it's a great point for you to be in because you don't have to rush anything. You can look at a guy, you can prospect on a guy for fun. You're not going to be going out and buying a giant collection unless you just want a fun project to try and sell it. But you're in a great space as a collector, dude. You're in a. I mean, I'm going to get there, and in a way, I'm in a great space too because I still have all of this random bulk to get rid of. So I think it's fine, man.
it's yeah. I mean, but your suggestion about Facebook, I mean, I feel like that's kind of the next step almost to unearth these things, or
Do it. Do
is
it.
I kind of gotta like get online and talk to people and like shake the trees basically. Um,
Yeah, I definitely suggest that you do it. Like I've talked about the grind that I went through as a early collector and living here in Istanbul around COVID time, and I was just like, I was in every Facebook group, just going in there, messaging. I was on all of these selling platforms looking for cards, and I found a few real big diamonds in the rough. Like those two Kobe rookie cards that I have are worth way more than I paid for them. Like I spent I think in terms of US dollars is about $15, and I got a lot of about 40 cards with an Iverson rookie with a Jordan Flair card, which is worth about 30 to $40, to to two different Kobe rookie cards, which are just unbelievable. So there are still places where you can unearth some cards that you could, I think, do really well with. And I think if you're after those cards, I think you need to start shaking the tree a bit more. And I think especially with the Seikaly, that's
yeah,
probably the only way you're going to get it at this point, unless it randomly pops up on one of your searches. But I think
it
you got to put
does.
in a little bit of grind, dude.
It has. I mean, and I think only one has come up on auction, and it just totally went higher than I mean, it went for like 150 or 160.
Wow.
Um,
And now you'd
so
pay that in a heartbeat, right?
yeah, I mean, none of these, as I was saying earlier, I mean, most of these cards, you can get them for 50, 60. Some like Nene was 20. I mean,
Wow. Wow.
but yeah,
Matumbo? Matumbo must
um,
have been over $100.
Tumbo is like 80,
Wow.
80.
Because he signed a lot when he was
He
alive.
has signed a lot.
I think I think now that one would go for a lot more because he's passed away, and it's an on-card order, and it's a good-looking order. But to be honest, he always signed his autograph very, very nicely.
Exactly. Yeah. He's great. He's all timer with autos, I feel like.
Mhm. Mhm.
Hakeem also, Nathaniel was saying, signs a lot, and I think I've noticed that as well.
Okay.
Um,
And was that
um,
dream card expensive? I guess over
I
150 because
don't have a Hakeem. Like that's something
ah
I'd be looking for. Those don't pop up that much. Like yeah, there's one on eBay for like $450 or something.
yeah,
But
it's interesting. He signed so much, but yet like there are some of his orders that are still pretty hard to get. Like I remember when we were talking with Neil about the Raptors order of his.
oh
That went for
right,
crazy money. So you know what I
yeah,
mean? I said there are, even though he signs a boatload, there are
yep,
still specific cards of his that are harder to find, which is interesting.
yeah, yeah. It's yeah. I think I've said my piece on the set. I love it. It's the only thing I this is like the 10th set that I started collecting, and this is the only one that's stuck.
And
So
and for good reason. And you've explained the reasons, and I think it's an
yeah.
awesome set. You've definitely got me into it. And before we go, I'm just going to say it again, like the Jokić card, when you decide to move on, that second one, which I think you might. Yeah, I'm the first guy that you have to look at.
All right. Sounds good. I like that idea.
Perfect. Brother. Yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good, mate. All right,
All right.
we'll talk to you
Be well,
soon.
everybody. See ya.